Welcome back, everybody. As the name of the video, thumbnail, and intro suggests, today we are going to be going over this light right here. This is the newest weapon light, at least that I'm aware of anyway, from the folks over at Streamlight. So this is their RailMount ProTac 2.0, and it has a lot of very cool features going on. This particular one, obviously, is the weapon-mounted version. However, they make a virtually identical one that is handheld carried. And basically I'm just going to use this because it's easier to talk with this in my hand than it is with the weapon mounted version in my hand. But I suppose before I actually do that, let's talk about the weapon mounted version before we put it down. So first and foremost, it is Scout compatible. It does come with a 1913 rail mount that works just fine. However, literally every single Scout mount that I'm aware of on the market will work just fine with this particular light. We have it mounted up here on my 416 clone with the Magpul 1913 Scout rail mount, and it works perfectly fine, as you can see. The weapon mounted version one is going to come with this tail cap here that allows for a tape switch. So let's talk about that. Comes with or without a tape switch. You can get it either way. It's about $50 less without the tape switch, at least MSRP wise. Street price wise, about $30 is the difference in what you'll actually see. And the tape switch it comes with will go into this port. The port itself is O-ring sealed, which is nice. But what I was mentioning earlier is that it does come with that button on there as a redundancy type of backup, and that's how it comes from the factory. So if you're going to compare that to like a Surefire option, getting that type of tail cap is like an extra $100 with Surefire. So you get that from the factory with the Streamlight. So I do like that. You're allowed to, or you're able to, is probably a better way to say it, still run it with the actual button on there, or of course you can use it with the tape switch. The tape switch option it comes with from the factory is momentary only. However, you can get a constant momentary one from Streamlight rather, and you can also get one that will interface with like IR illuminators and things like that from Streamlight. They're all available, and it does work with any of them. It also, this kit, rather, if you get it with the tape switch, will come with a 1913 mount, as well as Velcro, as well as 3M tape, and as well as zip ties. So it comes with a lot of different things there. The interface on this one is going to be high only, high low, or high strobe. So you can program it, and we'll get into that here in just a second. This one here has a slightly different interface that we will put up here on your screen. It is one of the few differences with the actual handheld versus the weapon light, and it does come with a different tail cap as well. So this one obviously doesn't have a port for a tape switch because it's designed to be carried. This one also comes with a holster, so if you want to wear it on your belt. It also comes with a clip that is removable if you want to do so. And some things that are really cool about this light are the fact that it is USB-C rechargeable. So this one here has the USB-C port on the side, as does the weapon light. And you can also, if you want to, unscrew rather, if I could talk, the tail cap. And of course it's O-ring sealed. And that will take out your battery here, and it is a USB-C rechargeable battery. It is Streamlight's proprietary 850 battery, so it's roughly the same size as an 18650. However, like I just said, it's Streamlight's proprietary one. You can buy extras from them, but an 18650 will not work. And the reason for that is this interface right here. It has to be made up a certain way when it goes into the light. So when you put it in there, if it's off, you won't be able to close the tail cap. You just spin it around, just like so, and that way it is engaged, and you can charge it, like I said, on the battery or on the light itself. So I do like that. The buttons themselves are going to be gas pedal style, so a light press is going to give you momentary, and then obviously if you click it, it's going to give you constant on. And the output on this light is going to be 2,000 lumens, but it is only 18,000 candela. So I say only 18,000 candela about 5 years ago was about as high as you would ever find any weapon light. But these days there are 100 plus K candela weapon lights out there. So for those who are new, the difference between lumens and candela, lumens as a general explanation is going to be the total amount of light that comes out of the light. And then the candela is how focused it is or the hot spot of the particular light. This one here with 2,000 lumens but only 18,000 candela is going to give you a gigantic wall of light. We're going to put up the run times for the battery here on the screen, and the run times are also really long. So definitely off the jump, two of the key things that are pros for both of these lights is going to be runtime, rechargeability, as well as just the total output. If you are a lumens guy, if you're a candela guy, Streamlight makes other offerings out there, particularly even weapon lights, that are going to be a higher candela. So with that, let's do a couple beam comparisons with some different options on the market, and then come back and wrap it up after that. For the beam comparison shots, I have my camera set on manual, so it's as close as possible to what I see here with my human eye. We are 1 day away from a full moon, so we have plenty of natural illumination out here tonight. So it should be able to show you guys a pretty realistic environment of what you can expect from this light. So that is the output there from the ProTac on high. And as you see it right there, that spot where the wood fence meets the iron fence is approximately 35 feet away. You guys should probably be able to see the pollen in the air as well. Welcome to the Carolinas in the spring. And those trees back there are rather approximately 40 to 50 feet, just depending on the actual tree. You guys can kind of get an idea that it is a wall of light type of output here. Just a warning for anybody who has seizures and things like that. We're going to work through the strobe mode here in just a second. So just a forewarning to anybody who is in that camp. But you can see we do have a hotspot, but it's not super tight, and the actual flood is also pretty wide as well. You guys might be able to see, it looks like there's like a false edge like right there where the wood fence and the iron fence meets on camera. That looks like a little bit sharper edge than it looks like in real life. In real life, you have a little bit more flood that the camera's not picking up for whatever reason. But just working through the different modes, and again, this is a 10-tap programmable light, both of them, the weapon light and the handheld. So you can work through the various modes by just tapping the button 10 times and it will go into the next mode for those that haven't used the Surefires. But so there is our strobe mode. And then that is our low mode. So that's the way it comes from the factory with the handheld, but the weapon light is just a little bit different, but it still comes high from the factory, and you still can use that 10-tap programmable mode, but that is the low if you want to preserve battery life, but still has pretty good output. Honestly, it's just, like I said, a wall of light and then back to high. There you go. The beam that you're looking at right now is from the Streamlight TLR1 weapon light, so it's 1,000 lumens, but this one here is about 20,000 candela, and that is your hotspot there in the center. And just for comparison, that is your ProTac. So as you can see here with the ProTac, it's a little bit whiter. I'm not sure if that comes across on camera, but the temperature is a little bit different. Intensity is pretty darn close. Like I said, this is the TLR1 HL. And in terms of candela, very, very similar in my opinion. Just a slight temperature difference here with the ProTac. And then once again with the TLR1. And here we have the output from a mod light with the OKW head. So you can see much, much more narrow, much more focused hotspot, a lot higher candela, but the wall of light just isn't quite the same with that type of reflector setup. So again, there's your ProTac wall of light, and then the mod light OKW. Again, we have the camera set on manual, and you guys probably can't see it all that well right now, but across the lake, that is approximately 110 yards, and we're about 10 yards on my property, and then about 10 yards on the property across the lake. There is a fishing shack that we'll show you here in just a second. So that's roughly 120 yards away, and if I go ahead and hit it with the ProTac 2.0, you guys can see there, that is how it looks. And we have our little bush here on my property that is still illuminated by that wall of light, even if it's oriented at the shack. And we'll kind of zoom in there and let you guys get a look at it. So if there's somebody standing out there, I'd easily be able to see it, and probably be able to identify if they had something in their hand or something like that. But just for comparison's sake, again, this is the ProTac 2, and then for comparison, we have the mod light here. So you guys can see the OKW head, just a lot higher candela. But if you look at the surrounding area, it really has that edge on the spill right here as we orient it towards the shack. Whereas here, again, with the ProTac, you guys can see a much wider spill around beam pattern overall. And then for comparison, again, this is the Streamlight TLR1 HL weapon light that many of you guys are familiar with. And if we zoom in a little bit there, you guys can see, again, candela, pretty similar, not quite as much of a wall of light. This is the ProTac 2.0. That is the actual TLR1 HL. And TLR1 HL zoomed out, and then the ProTac zoomed out. Now that we've taken a look at the beam comparison, a few things I want to point out before we close the video out. Number one is going to be size. So it's hard to convey that here on a video to you guys, but for a weapon mounted light, particularly not so much a handheld, but for a weapon mounted light, and again, they are identical in terms of body size, head size, etc. It is large. So this is a Surefire Scout dual cell, so 2 CR123As, and you can see how much wider it is in the body there. And it's also going to be a little bit heavier. So if that's important to you, then take that into consideration. However, However, it is also much cheaper than a Surefire option, an OKW mod light, a Cloud Defensive option, really compared to anything else out there made by, you know, what folks would consider reputable weapon light companies. It is going to be much, much cheaper. So this one right now, again, we alluded to it in the intro in the video. The geese are coming in, but we alluded to it in the intro of the video. If you get it just as a weapon light without the mounting kit right now, it's going to be anywhere from, I've seen it as cheap as $120 all the way up to $150. And then again, with the tape switch, add on $30 to $50 in terms of price point. Whereas the competitive options out there are coming in at $250 to $350. So there is a significant advantage there in terms of price for the Streamlight. Of course, even having that USB-C mounting on there with the O-ring seals, it is still waterproof. We've put these ones underwater. We have dropped them. We've done all of those sorts of things. I have fired a lot of rounds through this 416 upper here, and the whole time this thing has been mounted. And for folks that don't know, a 416 upper is going to have more recoil than your standard AR-15. So in terms of recoil impulse, it handles it just fine, as you would expect from the folks over there at Streamlight. But is it the right light for you? I don't know, right? I have reviews of pretty much all of their weapon lights, and the one thing I think, or the one light rather, I think that most folks are going to be comparing this most to is the HLX weapon light. That one there takes a rechargeable a rechargeable 18650 battery or two CR123As. That one's going to have a higher candela. It's going to have less lumens, so it's 1,000 lumens, and I believe 27,000 candela. But the trade-off, of course, is you get more lumens with this, so a bigger wall of light, a way longer runtime, easier charging system, a little bit heavier. Pros and cons to each. This one here is generally speaking going to be a little bit more expensive as well, but this one, again, from the factory, comes with that mounting system and the tape switch mounting system as well. Pros and cons, right? That's why we do the videos. In full disclosure, Streamlight did send both of these lights out, but I did request it simply because so many of you guys asked me to review these lights. So all in all, we've had zero issues of any kind with either of these lights, despite the shooting, the dropping, the putting underwater, all of those sorts of things that we've done with them. So all in all, they seem like a very high quality light, especially at the price point with the performance features that you get. Is it for everyone? No. Is it for a lot of you? Probably. I know there's a lot of folks out there that are afraid of high candela lights, and something in the 18,000, 20,000 candela is going to make them feel a little bit more at ease. If that's you, that's fine. I'm not going to get in an argument about candela versus lumens. There are pros and cons to each in situations where both matter more than the other. So I will leave that up to all of you to decide and discuss down below in the comments, which I certainly look forward to. That really is all I have for you guys. If you guys are looking for deals on these things or anything else, make sure you're following me at my various social media sites. Also, these lights, of course, are YouTube safe, so we can put a link down below in the video description for you guys to pick them up. Also, they will go out in my daily deals email if they're on sale. Actually, when I'm recording this, they are on sale right now. May not be the case by the time the video is live. And if it is on sale, it will go out in my daily deals email. You guys can sign up for that at the website here on your screen. It goes out every day, as the name indicates, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals that we find around the internet. Also has a good meme in there as well to brighten your day. If it's in that email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet on that particular day. So that way, saves you guys some money and hopefully saves you some time, because I've already done the looking for you. But it's not just lights, it's everything that we cover here on the channel, accessories, firearms, etc. Additionally, if you like this type of video and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you've done that, just double check. A lot of folks seem to be getting unsubscribed lately. And if you've done that and you're still not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, you can sign up for my email list at the website here on your screen. This email goes out every month, once a month, and it has all of the videos since my previous month's email. So that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. It goes straight from me to your inbox, so you can sign up for that there. But again, it only goes out once a month, so definitely sign up for that as well so you don't miss anything. And with that, that's all I have for you. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.